How to recruit people into the army, which suffers huge losses in the war of conquest on foreign territory, and at the same time to avoid general mobilization so as not to provoke a riot of citizens who do not want to go to the slaughter. The Russian authorities have already tried several options. As part of the so-called partial mobilization, hundreds of thousands of recruits were recruited. PMCs recruited thousands of prisoners, but this resource is running out. Now they have relied on contractors. Recruits are persuaded or forced to sign a contract with the army. The salary of a contractor is under 200,000 rubles. For the Russian hinterland, the amount is astronomical. Yes, and propaganda is trying with might and main.
What is the Russian soldier stands for, even for those who are not happy with him?
Agitate to go to the contract everywhere. Entrepreneurs are required by the authorities to place propaganda materials directly in cafes, restaurants and gas stations. The Kremlin plans to recruit at least 400,000 contract soldiers this year. Bloomberg reported. Moscow traditionally placed the main burden on the implementation of the plan on the poorest regions.
First, people from the embassy arrived, and immediately after that, the governor began to talk about the fact that we should personally participate in attracting people to contract service. There is even talk about the possibility of introducing personal orders for each sectoral minister and deputy prime minister in terms of the number of recruited fighters. The message is this: all the rest, even purely specialized cases, are on the sidelines. The first and main task from Moscow is to recruit people for a contract. Russian official, on condition of anonymity, in an interview with Verstka.
Another method is to force conscripts to sign contracts by any means, and it is already quite legal to send them to war against Ukraine. The youngest 18 and 19-year-old Russians fall under this option. The story of 18-year-old Kirill Voronka is indicative. The officers tried to persuade him and then force him to sign a contract. As a result, they simply put a signature instead of him.
My son managed to photograph all this. We immediately realized at first glance that the signature was not his, and the next day they ordered an examination, which established that the signature was not his. It is written that the contract is for 2 years. Salary not specified. We immediately started calling the mayor and demanding that the contract be terminated. He replied, "You understand that you will write reports on the termination of the contract, and they will simply be lost." Yana Kuznetsova, mother of Russian conscript Kirill Voronko, in an interview with Sever Realities.
Kirill's story is not unique. Covert mobilization in Russia does not stop, human rights activists say. The other day, the former head of Roscosmos Dmitry Rogozin called for a new stage of mobilization in Russia in order to organize a rotation at the front. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Bogdan Maksymets, UATV News.